You're not losing because you're weak. You're losing because you're still playing by rules that were written to keep you manageable. The idea that honesty will save you, that loyalty will be rewarded, that good work speaks for itself. These aren't virtues. They're leashes dressed up as wisdom, fed to those who ask too few questions. I've watched brilliant people get buried, not by enemies, by their own transparency. And I've watched mediocre men rule entire rooms, not because they were stronger, but because they understood something the others refused to accept. The world is not governed by truth, it's governed by perception. If you're ready to see it, clearly keep watching. If you're not, this will make you deeply uncomfortable. Good. That's where clarity begins. Part 1. Build the mask. Before you move a single piece on the board, you need to understand what the board actually is. It's not a meritocracy, it's a theater. And in theater, the actor who controls the impression controls the outcome. So the first move is not action, it's construction. Build a face the world can react to. Not your real face, a strategic one. One calibrated for the room you're in. One that inspires trust or admiration, or just enough fear, whichever serves you most in that moment. This is not deception. This is armor. The man who shows every thought becomes a servant to whoever's listening. But the man who speaks in calculated fragments, he controls the frame. Smile while you're planning the countermove. Stay warm while you're building the exit. Look cooperative while you're 3 steps ahead. The mask isn't weakness, it's freedom. The freedom to move without resistance, to strike before they finish guessing. Part 2. Fear versus love. Let me be direct with you. Given the choice between being loved and being needed, choose needed. Love is fragile, it's conditional, it shifts with mood, with circumstance, with whatever someone decided about you last Tuesday. Fear real, quiet, earned fear that's stable. Not the fear of a tyrant. Tyrants fall fast and loudly. The fear of someone whose next move no one can predict. The fear of someone who never overreacts because they are already 4 moves ahead. When you reward, do it publicly. Let it echo. When you correct, do it once, decisively, and let the silence carry the lesson forward. Never punish in anger. Anger is information you're giving away for free. The leader who smiles while holding the blade outlasts the one who shouts. Every time. Part 3. Create dependency. If you want to become truly untouchable, stop trying to be impressive. Start becoming necessary. There's a difference. Impressive people get applause. Necessary people get obeyed. Solve problems no one else can. Offer stability in situations that only produce chaos. Become the answer to questions they haven't even thought to ask yet. But, and this is the part most people miss, never give the complete solution. Help them. Genuinely. But make sure the next problem requires you too. Elevate people, but only as high as your structure allows. Give access, but make yourself the door. When their survival is tied to your presence, they will defend you from their own doubts. They'll call your leverage wisdom. They'll call your architecture generosity. That's how authority becomes invisible. That's how you stop commanding people and start being the system they operate inside. Part 4. Reputation is the real weapon. Your reputation is not your legacy. It's your live infrastructure. It works while you sleep. It opens rooms before you enter them. It closes doors on people who never saw it coming. And here's the part no one tells you. You must author it yourself, or someone else will. And they will use it to bury you. People don't respond to what you've done. They respond to what they've heard you've done. So frame your moves before others frame them for you. Turn every bold decision into a narrative of vision. Turn every calculated risk into evidence of conviction. And if someone challenges you publicly, don't defend. Attack the credibility of the message before the message lands. A discredited source cannot wound you. An avenged enemy earns sympathy. A humiliated one simply disappears. Part 5. The intelligence nobody talks about. Most people spend their energy performing strength. The genuinely powerful spend theirs gathering information. Watch the body language in rooms. Notice the hesitation before the answer. Pay attention to who people defer to when you're not there. Humans don't reveal themselves when they speak. They reveal themselves when they think no one's watching. Train yourself to observe everything, the timing, the silence, the unspoken alliances, and collect this quietly. Not as paranoia, as preparation. Know what your allies fear. Know who they'd follow if the structure shifted. Know what they want that they'd never say out loud. Hold those threads, because the moment the landscape changes, you'll already know which way everyone's going to move. Part 6. Psychological dominance. Nothing dissolves power faster than visible anxiety. The moment they sense you're unsure, the spell breaks. So train this. Slow your speech in high-pressure moments. Let silence sit longer than feels comfortable. Let your stillness in a crisis communicate more than any statement could. The man who shouts under pressure signals weakness. The man who goes quiet under pressure makes everyone in the room recalibrate. Speak less than expected. Reveal less than assumed. Because every word is a window. And a man with no visible windows becomes the room's most interesting mystery. People chase mystery, they fear it, they orbit it, become unreadable, and you become powerful. Part 7. Build the fortress, not the face. Rising is easy, staying is the actual game. The ones who fall, they don't fall because they lacked ambition. They fall because they built a reputation instead of a structure. Reputation is visible. It's attackable. Structure is invisible. It's load-bearing. So before you rise, root yourself deep. Connect your presence to people's progress. Be the bridge, the gatekeeper, the weight-bearing wall. Don't give people freedom. Give them your structure and make it feel like freedom. When they try to move without you, they feel the absence. Not because you enforced it, because the system you built simply doesn't function as well without you. Control the system, and you never have to control the people. Part 8. Train them, but never completely. Delegate strategically. Give people tasks, give them authority, give them just enough responsibility to feel indispensable. But never the full picture, never the complete skill set, never the context that would make them independently powerful. This isn't cruelty, it's architecture. It keeps them invested, and it keeps you irreplaceable. If something breaks, only you can fix it. If a crisis hits, only you see all the variables. This perception, built carefully over time, is more powerful than any title on a door. Part 9. The art of the exit. Here's what almost nobody understands. The most dangerous moment in power is when you've won. Because that's when complacency arrives. That's when rivals stop fearing you and start studying you. That's when the machine you built starts to feel like a cage. The masters know this, and they plan for it from the beginning. Set a ceiling, a private one. One you never say out loud. When you reach it, start moving toward the exit. Not because you're weak, because the exit is the final move. Push others into the light. Let them carry the exposure. Let them feel the weight of visibility while you quietly recede. When you disappear, don't announce it. Just become harder to find. And here's what happens. The fear of a man who has left still holding everything is greater than the fear of a man who is present. Because no one knows what he's building now. No one knows when he's coming back. No one knows what he already knows. That uncertainty, that is power in its purest form. Part 10. The final lesson. If you return, and you may need to, you don't return as a person. You return as a reference point. As proof that the game everyone else is playing was designed by someone who no longer needs to play it. They'll study your history, look for the cracks, try to reverse engineer the method, and they'll fail. Because the method was never in the moves. It was in the mind behind them. You didn't win because you were the loudest. You won because you were the quietest hunter in the room. You didn't rule by fear alone. You ruled by being understood too late. Power is never given. It's assembled piece by piece through leverage, through dependency, through patience, that most people mistake for passivity. If half of what's in this video landed, you're already more dangerous than you were 20 minutes ago. But the game never stops evolving. And neither should you. The world doesn't reward the good. It doesn't even consistently reward the ruthless. It rewards the prepared. The ones who see clearly. The ones who move without needing permission or applause. That's the whole game. Everything else is noise. And by now, you know how to use noise. Machiavelli.